Haka, sitz bath, willow, what to buy. So in this video, we're going to talk about postpartum essentials, must-haves to thrive postpartum. Keep watching for postpartum hacks that I use to get going about week 2 or 3 postpartum. Bonjour, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're talking about postpartum hacks, so how to thrive postpartum. And I would know because I'm a newly postpartum mama, and I am also a certified nurse midwife. I'm a labor and delivery acute care nurse. And so I work labor and delivery, and I work postpartum mother baby. And so I definitely have firsthand experience, literally. So keep watching until the end for these hacks you are not going to want to miss. Number one, so the first thing you're going to want to do to thrive postpartum, like I did, I was able to get going around 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, definitely. I was like, where are the roller skates? Let's get back to it. So definitely to thrive postpartum, you're going to want to process your birth. I know, your birth experience. And one thing I always ask my clients after their birth is, I know I have to do the postpartum and have a checklist of things to do, but I want to do a wellness check. Okay, I want to check in to see how was your birth experience. So very important. A lot of moms don't give it much thought, and it's so important. So whether it was a desirable experience or outcome, or if it wasn't desirable, okay, so undesirable, you're gonna want to talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. I don't care if you talk to your dog about it. You want to process your birth so you can move forward with love, and you can release it. So you're going to want to process it. So whatever that looks like for you, whatever's most comfortable, cry about it, whatever it is. Because even if they're happy tears, because obviously if you have really good outcomes, happy baby, healthy baby, and a healthy and safe mom, those are always going to be a desired outcome. So you want to give gratitude for what you do have, and then you want to process the outcome versus the intention or the birth plan. So if your outcome didn't match your birth plan, like mine didn't, it took me at least 2 weeks of crying and processing, journaling, meditating, praying, asking questions. Why me? And I visualized this from the beginning, and if you watch my birth video, you will see that I just didn't trust the process and release and let go. But definitely, depending on whatever your outcome was, if you have to cry about it, talk about it, journal about it, you want to make sure that you process your birth experience. Number 2, next thing I did to thrive postpartum, I totally ate my placenta. So that's the onesie that says, "My mom ate my placenta." Or you can consume your placenta however you want to put it. There's so many different ways to do it. I did 3 raw chunks of my placenta before they were encapsulated, and also a tincture, which I'm still consuming and still have tincture, and I just put a couple drops in my mother's milk, tea, and it really, there's no taste to my tincture with that method. So how to thrive postpartum: consume your placenta. If I could give anybody any advice, it would be to consume your placenta, and I can't stress enough all the benefits. And why not go for a boost of your breast milk supply, your mood stabilizer, so decreased risk for postpartum depression, and a boost of energy. There's so many different reasons. Improved quality of sleep, so many things. And so definitely look into the different ways. Do what's most comfortable for you. Of course, if you thinking, I'm not sure if I can do the raw chunks, or hey, I can settle with pills, whatever it is, whatever that looks like for you, then go for that method. But definitely don't just toss your placenta as biohazard waste. Consider consuming it. Number 3, taking your prenatal vitamin and your iron pill. Now, I wasn't even anemic, and I consumed whatever the method of iron it was. So I did the Floridix. It's a very gentle iron that does not, and very small amounts of iron boosting that does not cause constipation. easily absorbed and metabolized. So that's my favorite go-to. So I literally ordered it on like auto subscription with Vitamin Shop. Okay, so that it was delivered to me, so I did not miss a dose. It's liquid form. It's very easy to take. Again, but prenatal vitamin. I know your provider and your is going to recommend that you take it really like postpartum up to 6 months, I believe, and even longer if you want. But definitely you want to replenish all of the stores that you either excreted, whatever, via waste or during the birth, you name it, or through the actual birth of your baby. So you have the nourishment and all the vitamins and all that stuff that are depleted of you, right, for your baby. So there's so many reasons why taking your vitamins can be important. Energy levels, definitely to supplement your diet in case you're not getting it enough via your diet. And so it's going to be so key. And then the iron pill, because you lost blood, right? Everybody's going to lose blood. It's a bloody business. That's what I tell my clients. Everybody's going to lose blood. It just depends on how much blood you lose. So even if you don't hemorrhage, you still lost blood. And so I always say that the last thing you want to do is kind of be fatigued, have weakness and shortness of breath from symptoms of anemia, which your low blood counts, to make it simple, keep it plain. Have symptoms of anemia while you're trying to, figure out motherhood, while you're trying to figure out breastfeeding, which, losing sleep, so many different reasons. And that can deter you from the longevity of breastfeeding too. Can you imagine being fatigued and having weakness, shortness of breath, and all those things from your vitamin levels or your iron or blood stores? It's not going to you're not going to thrive postpartum. So how did I thrive? That's what this video is about. I took my prenatal vitamin, which I'm still taking now, and I still take the Floridix daily. So you could do Floridix, chlorophyll, you could do blood builder, whatever you want to do. So there's different levels to it, or you can take an iron pill, over the counter. Definitely check with your provider to see if you're thinking about the higher doses, but a small dose, then definitely should not be a concern. Even if you don't have anemia, how to thrive postpartum, prenatal vitamin and a little bit of extra of iron will go a long way. Now, also with the prenatal vitamin, remember you don't want to take any dairy products with that iron or prenatal vitamin because it decreases absorption. And then to boost absorption with the iron, you want to take it with vitamin C. So you could take it with vitamin C tablet, 500 milligrams. I always do the 2 tabs of 500, but don't tell anyone. Do what I say, not what I do. No, just kidding. So you could just do the 1 tab 500, and so it boosts absorption, or you can just do a glass of orange juice or another grapefruit, you name it. Number 4, just overall pain management. Okay, so I don't care if you have a high tolerance for pain. I don't care if you want unmedicated with no epidural and you are tough as rocks. Last thing you want to do, just like your anemia and low iron counts because you lost blood and etc. The last thing you want is to be in pain, extra added pain when you are focusing on being a new mom or a mother, so motherhood in general, or when you're focusing on breastfeeding. The last thing you need is to have added pain in your perineum or just overall pain. So what they're not going to tell you is you're going to feel like you got hit by a bus. Okay, it's hurt me so good because it's a good pain. It's like a workout, no matter which way you gave birth, vaginal or C-section, you will have some muscle soreness. It's a workout, okay? It's not an affirmation. It's just facts. So I did Tylenol and ibuprofen as long as you don't have any allergies. I rotated those, so I just alternated Tylenol and ibuprofen around the clock based on the hours, of course, and the doses. Check your labels, read your labels. So Q4 or Q6 or every 4 or every 6 hours, just depends. But I was anticipating pain, and that's the most effective way for pain management is to anticipate it. So you don't want to wait until you're at like a 10 out of 10, while you're breastfeeding, and then your perineum goes to, starts screaming at you. and you're at 10 out of 10 when you could have prevented it. So I took the preventive measures, we call prophylaxis. So I did a preventive and I anticipated pain, and I took Tylenol and ibuprofen around the clock for I don't even know how many weeks. Number 5, breast care. So that's if you are breastfeeding or not. Okay, you're still going to need some level of breast care, and that's going to be key. So you want to make sure you support the method that you're choosing or the option that you're choosing. You involve or include some breast care with your method that you're choosing. So whether you're breastfeeding, you're nursing, or you're pumping, doing both, one or the other, or you're not doing it at all, you want to consider a breast support. Okay, so you're going to want to have your nursing bras that, because for me, finding out that if I was pumping or nursing, having my hands free was key. Okay, so very golden to thrive postpartum, having your hands free. I don't care if you're just going for your phone, holding the baby while you're pumping, or you name it. It's just really going to be to thrive postpartum. You want to have your nursing bra. You want to have nursing pads because you'll be leaking, especially the first couple weeks when that milk really lets down. The first couple days, the 3 to 5 days, you name it, first couple weeks, you're going to want to have a nursing bra. Obviously after a certain amount of weeks, you probably won't need the nursing pads rather, but definitely you want to have at least a good store for the first couple of weeks. Also, just some breast nipple cream. Okay, so nipple cream is going to be key for breast care. If you are deciding to breastfeed, pump, or nurse, then you're going to want to have some support for your nipples. Okay, I found that to be golden. Also, another thing you can do if you don't want to buy nipple cream, you can just use your colostrum or your milk to express a little bit, and then that's how you could treat your nipples if you want. That's going to be gold standard. And so you could do that if you didn't want to buy any nipple cream, but you could do both, so it didn't hurt at all. Also, the breast gel pads were phenomenal for me. I put them in the refrigerator and I rotated them every time I was not breastfeeding, and I had them on with my refrigerated gel pads, and I was thriving. My nipples were thriving postpartum. Okay. How to have your nipples thrive postpartum. This is how. So I would highly recommend that. Okay. Number 6, we're going head to toe if you haven't noticed, by the way. But number 6 is the abdominal binder. Oh my goodness, this one was gold too. And everything I'm recommending was how I thrived postpartum, so I would highly recommend it. Abdominal binder, abdominal binder, abdominal binder for belly binding. So if you can have a belly binding service, even better. If not, just buy an abdominal binder online, you name it. And so just keep your abdomen wrapped really tightly, secured, and whether if you had a vaginal birth or a C-section, birth, it doesn't matter. You want to have support for those ligaments and muscles that were all, stretched to support your pregnancy, and then that's now recovering. So, and then also back support. There's so many benefits to it, but definitely having, a snatch back flat abs after your birth as well, and you'll notice such a huge difference. And versus if you didn't, but definitely having that support, you feel more mobile. I can go on, the list goes on. So definitely invest in abdominal binder, whether you have a C-section or vaginal birth, it's going to be key. And then keep your belly wrapped around the clock, except at night. Some people do it at night, some people don't. Read the research and make the decision for yourself, but that's what I did. I kept my belly binded throughout the day, and then I unbinded it at night. So along with the breast care, I recommend getting a breast pump. I think everybody is on the same page with that. For the most part, most moms are. So even if you are going to be doing the nursing exclusively and you don't want to pump initially, that's fine. Some resources say 3 to 4 weeks until there's a well-established breastfeeding, well-established nursing pattern for the baby. But either way, at some point you will be pumping if you have to go back to work. Not all people, not everyone, but most moms will have to return to work, and most moms will want support from their partner. to be able to give the baby a bottle feed, even if you haven't returned to work, or if you get nanny help or any type of support, family, any type of support person, so that you can kind of take off some of those feeding cycles. So that would be key. That's how I thrived postpartum, incorporating a breast pump, bottles, okay, and then definitely bottle feeding so that you can, alternate the care and the love and the care and the love. And that way you don't want to kill your support persons either. I'm just kidding. Because they're just not doing anything or oversleeping at night, or while you're waking up to nurse, or staring at you like, how can I help? Maybe hold this breast or boob for me? Not really. So, no. Let's get to the next one. Along with the pumping, of course, breast storage, the breast milk storage bags are going to be key. Okay, so you're going to want to have storage bags to store your milk, especially if you're building your freezer stash. So those are some must-haves for postpartum and how to thrive. Let's get to the next point. Number 7, peri-care. Okay, so this is, we're coming to the end of our list here, but we're going to go over essentials for your peri-care. I definitely have the pads. Okay, so peri pads, of course, the peri bottle. These are the things that you already know. But some type of pain relieving or numbing spray is going to be key. Also having like another healing spray for peri, like another peri spray. And on our website, we also sell a herbal peri spray where it has lavender herbal products that help boost with healing and comfort. So check out our website if that's something you'd be interested in. So that's going to be key. And also I found really helpful just to have like Tux and then hydrocortisone cream. And then of course, if you have hemorrhoids, or if you have some, any type of discomfort there, you can add hemorrhoid cream, of course, and then of course your ice packs and padsicles. And we'll talk a little more about padsicles, but the Tux pads, most people ideally think they have to, use them only for hemorrhoids, but I use them on my perineum as well. Even though I was intact, just because of some of the swelling and the birth process, I definitely did the padsicles as well to thrive, and then the Tux pad with a little bit of hydrocortisone or any anti-inflammatory, and put it right on my perineum, and then put the padsicle underneath. So just right now, if you're 36 weeks, 34 weeks, it's not too early. Go ahead and make your padsicles and just store them in your freezer. It's going to be really such a treat. Anybody will tell you. And they're easy to make. So aloe, vera, your, witch hazel, lavender. Some people add peppermint, you name it. Very simple to make. And then toss them in your freezer and then do those around the clock. They were life-saving for me. So that was peri-care in a nutshell. Some other little things that you will find to be really helpful in how to thrive postpartum was just wearing the baby for me. Wearing Aiden. So wearing your baby. To hence another moment for hands-free. Also bonding and so many different things. And so yeah, how to thrive postpartum. Wear your baby, even if it's around the house and you're not getting out just yet. I found that to be really, really helpful. Along the lines with peri-care, you also have the mesh undies or the Depends. Some people found Depends to be more beneficial than the mesh undies, and having to put a pad on, since the Depends is your mesh undie with the pad already in it. So just is preference based. So just decide whatever one you think would be best for you, and pick one. But either way, you're going to want to have some of those undies that are disposable. Some people do the reusable ones too that you wash and rinse, repeat. For me, I like having the disposables, but it's just totally its preference. So just decide what you want to do. But that was short and sweet, and those are the things I did. There's a long list out there everywhere you look, on every app and on every website of what you should have. But those are some of my essentials for postpartum and how to thrive. Postpartum hacks to get back to it. Thriving at about 3 to 4 weeks, and I hope you found that helpful. Comment below if you are postpartum, what you're using now, what was helpful for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, dolls.